Hi. Welcome to just taking another moment out with me today. It is May. Yay, May. I don't know about you, but May is one of those months for me that is exciting. Why it's exciting, I really can't say. Some people are like, oh, well, you get out of school in May and, the summer's about to start, all that stuff. And that's true. Um, but I've lived in a lot of places where you don't get out of school till June. So I don't know why May is exciting for me. It is my daddy's birthday. And it is the birthday of a lot of people that are important to me. But I did want to just jump on and talk about how May is also a month that recognizes two things that are very, very important to me. And that is first, Military Appreciation Month. For those that are unaware, I am a United States Marine Corps brat, meaning my father was active duty from before I was born until after I finished high school, actually. So I can actually say that I am a full-fledged military brat. Lived a few places, didn't move around as much as some, but moved around a lot more than others. And there is something to be said for military appreciation. And I think that as a country, we have done some kind of job in acknowledging and recognizing those that have served in the military. However, there are other things that we can talk about that need to be done, but that's not what this video is about. It's really just to not only appreciate those who served physically, i.e. the one whose name's on the paper that's actually active duty, but those who serve silently. And those people I'm talking to are the families. I just realized over the last few months that my childhood wasn't normal. I did not know that military life was not considered normal life. And there's a lot that goes into that. The things that you become accustomed to being a military brat or a military family, though it's normal for you, you don't realize that's not normal for other people. And there's a lot that goes into that, and I think that the families, the children, the spouses, the in-laws, everybody needs to be appreciated, because one thing I did learn being a military brat is it does take a village. If nothing else, we are kind of sort of immersed in that it takes a village, and that can be seen in the fact that I have a ton of aunts and uncles that don't share a blood relation to me, but those people are closer to me than people that do have a blood relation to me because of how that dynamic has to get set up in the military. But that leads me to the other thing that I wanted to touch on, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. Military Appreciation, Mental Health Awareness Month, those two things are huge for me. Being a military brat, I realized that a lot of the things that I picked up, some of the defense mechanisms, and just, general, the way that lifestyle was affected my mental health in certain ways, even when I was in it. One thing is that there is a stereotype about military kids being misfits, being bad kids. And it's funny because there's some people that be like, no, not military kids, absolutely military kids. You have to think, we talk about kids who don't have both parents in the home, kids that have to raise their own siblings and things like that. And a lot of times when we talk about that, what we're talking about is civilian households. And when people talk about that, it's such a negative connotation put on it. But what people fail to realize is that that's pretty much the lifestyle that most of your military kids are going to be living. I know that for me, again, it was so normal that I didn't know it was abnormal. But for me, I grew up not seeing my dad all the time. But I wasn't supposed to see my dad all the time. My dad's in the military. He's off fighting wars. He's off serving for our freedom. off serving for our freedoms and things like that. So with that, it doesn't come out like, okay, I'm in a single parent household or anything like that, because you're like, my dad's just at work, just like we would see with other kids whose parents might work a lot or whatever the case may be. So with that, I didn't realize that it wasn't normal. And I think a lot of people around me didn't realize it wasn't normal until I got around people that told me it wasn't normal. And as a kid coming up, it affects, the way that we make our relationship. Coming up in that lifestyle, it affects, how you maintain your relationships, how you build your relationships, and even how you react to certain things when it comes to relationships, be it platonic relationships, familial relationships, romantic relationships. For me, I noticed that there was an effect actually on the familial relations, because as a military brat, the people you're around the most are the people that you're stationed with, whereas in normal comeuppance, if you will, you're pretty much around the same people a good portion of your life, if not all of your life. You've grown up around family for the most part, things like that. And granted, these are all generalizations, and this is coming from a person who is currently living in the South, and I know regionally that kind of stuff changes, but y'all get where I'm going with this. And so I made stronger bonds with my military family than my DNA family. And I was always, I remember being called stuck up as a child because of that. And that led to, some mental health things. And that kind of ties back into just what I'm trying to say. I'm not sitting up here trying to tell my whole life story, but the fact that when we talk about military appreciation, we don't really recognize the people that are sacrificing in ways that we don't think about. Again, children sacrificing, growing up with one or both of their parents. I've seen families where both parents are active duty. That affects kids even in an even crazier way, especially, when we were at wartime. So thinking about military appreciation, but keeping in mind that it's also Mental Health Awareness Month, I just want to say, thank you to the military, all the personnel. I mean, honestly, as a military brat, I can't name people. I can thank my daddy, obviously, thank my daddy, my granddaddy, my great-granddaddy, my family. This stuff goes back generations, all my aunts and uncles, everybody, all my friends, parents. Like, absolutely thank you for what you do put out there. It is a sacrifice. You are going out there to put your life on the line as the service member, and families, you're willing to let your family member go out there and put themselves out there as a sacrifice for what we have come to know as the freedoms within our country. Take that however you will, but we all know that that was the point, and that's why the people signed up for it. I know my dad did not go in just to be a bully. My dad went in to protect, serve, because he believed in a dream, and that's what he did. And I feel like no matter how you feel about the country, the president, the military, whatever, that should also be acknowledged, that these are still human beings that put their lives on the line, put their families at risk. Their families are willing to give up a strong part of their life to protect the freedoms that all of us enjoy every day. The fact that I can sit up here and just talk to y'all about whatever the hell I feel like talking about at the moment. So just recognizing that, and recognizing that it is Mental Health Appreciation. So give somebody an extra hug, an extra smile. We're all going through stuff. You never know what somebody else is going through, especially now with what this economy is looking like. We're all struggling. Paycheck to paycheck is a way of life now. It's not an exception. It seems like it's the rule right now. So just be out there, give yourself grace, give those around you grace. We will be talking more about things that we can do to help with our mental health and keep us together. But I did just want to come and holler at y'all for a minute while I had some free time. And I'll talk to y'all later.